What's the smoothest pickup line you've ever heard? Before we jump into it, I just want to address that I've been a little bit sick this week, so you guys will just have to bear with me while my voice cracks through these stories. Let's go. I did an accidental one once. It was a time in college where I was doing a lot of Latin, and I met a girl at a one-off lecture event that I was attending. She said, "Hi, my name's Amanda." And I responded with, "Oh, cool. In Latin, that means the girl to be loved." Then she kinda giggled. But I wasn't trying to give her a pickup line. I was just trying to give her a Latin fact. I was on a plane once. I was in the aisle, and there was a very pretty girl in the window seat. Before she got on the plane, the guy in the middle seat had said to the stewardess that he wanted to find another seat. Once we were airborne, I suggested he go, and he jumped up like he was on fire. As he left, she looked at me as if to say, "What was that about?" So I leaned over and said, "Now it's just the two of us." Ballsiest thing I ever said to a woman. It worked though. We've been married for almost 20 years. I had a really cute girl come up to me once and say, "Hey, I was wondering if you could see yourself in me later." Me, caught off guard completely, responded with, I don't know, maybe." Then she pulled off her wig, pretended to polish her completely bald head with her sleeve, and bending down to present the top of her head to me, said, "How about now?" It turns out that she had alopecia, so she just tried to make the best of a shitty situation. We dated almost a year. Pickup line was smooth, delivery was smooth, and her head also smooth. My buddies and I were at a very country bar playing pool. One of the guys sees a girl eyeing him, and so we pester him into approaching her. He has no interest in chasing girls on this night. He just wants to play pool. So he's gonna pick a bad line and deliver it out of character, as he described. "Hey girl, nice boots, wanna fuck?" They've been happily married 8 years now. I, extremely ginger, had an instant crush on this redhead girl with very short hair when she came into the bar I was working at the time. It was probably the only time I've ever had a line, but I somehow came up with, "Why is it you're pulling my hair off way better than I ever could?" We dated for a few months, but we're still on good terms. This girl I had a crush on in high school asked to use my phone to call hers because she couldn't find it. Her phone started ringing in her pocket. She pulls it out, saves my number, and says she'll text me later. "It's good to see you again." "Again?" "Yeah, we went out, had some food, some drinks, and a great time." "When was this?" "Next week." I once accidentally flirted with another man at an upscale bar. I was enjoying my drink, and a man sat near me. Without a thought, I said, "Your cologne pairs really well with my drink." He blushed. I blushed. The bartender blushed. I wish I was that smooth with people I actually want to flirt with. It didn't happen in English, so the wordplay isn't as good, but it went something like this. Wintertime, icy sidewalks, very cute girl was struggling to not slip. I go, "Careful, you might fall." She responds with, "That's alright, maybe you'll catch me over a cup of coffee." Her spontaneity really caught me off guard, so all I could say was, "Maybe," and walked away. Yup. Idiot. Somebody once asked me if I liked their new trainers. I replied yes, but they look even better over my shoulders. I'll never forget that shade of crimson. And it worked, too. Met a girl back in college. She was gorgeous. I kept looking at her, but was afraid of rejection. During a break, she came up to me and said, "Are you just gonna look at me? Or do I have to make the first move?" Needless to say, she never let me forget that. I wouldn't call this smooth as much as effective. I used to smile at cute guys across the bar and then mouth "come over" while waving them over. The adorable me looks that they used to have on their faces were priceless. They could be as smooth as they wanted afterwards, but they always gave away any cool demeanor they tried to have with their initial utter shock. I'd like to also clarify that I'm not a supermodel. I think guys are just so not used to this kind of attention that it was deeply flattering. A girl came up to me in a bar and said, "Do you have a twin brother?" My response was, no. Then she said, "That's too bad, because I'd love to meet him." I thought it was pretty good. It also helped that she was gorgeous. That's when you say, "Yes, let me go get him," and quickly turn around and put on a fake mustache. I was sitting next to this guy that I just kind of started seeing, and we were doing this practice thing for graduation. I was complaining about how my last name is really far down the list, and that this was gonna take forever. and said, "God, I hate my last name." Without skipping a beat, he said, "You can take mine." Then his name got called, and he just winked at me and walked away, leaving me sitting there dumbfounded. Smoothest shit I have ever seen. I worked retail when I was younger, and I was up at the store one day buying some stuff on my day off. Well, the younger sister of one of my coworkers was there, and we somehow got to talking with the manager. He made a comment about me punching in for an extra shift, and she, without missing a beat, said, "He can't, we're going out for ice cream." I had never even met her before, but we went out for ice cream and dated for a few years, till she cheated on me. It was still pretty damn smooth though, so I gotta give props where they're due. I was walking with this cute friend of mine one time, and out of nowhere she said, "Hey, feel my shirt. What material do you think it's made of?" And I replied, "Probably cotton. I don't know." That's a very random question. She got all flustered and said, "No, you ruined it." "Ruined what? Your shirt?" "No, I'm gonna ask you again. Just say what." "Okay. Feel my shirt. What material do you think it's made of?" "I don't know. What?" "Girlfriend material." It was very cheesy, but absolutely adorable. Was at a bar with a friend once. Someone knocked a glass off the counter, and a guy quickly caught it. My friend remarked, saying, "Fast hands." And this guy responded with, "Thanks. They can go slow, too." My friend fucking melted. I messaged her my congrats the morning after. I once flew on an 8-hour flight from Europe to the US. I was on the window seat. The middle seat and aisle seat were occupied by a young man and a woman, both in their 20s. They didn't know each other. Over the course of that 8 hours, I watched him go from volunteering to share his tablet screen on whatever he was watching, to them holding hands by the time the flight was landing. My worst accidental pickup line I ever used? "I don't want to fuck you, I just want to dance." Somehow, I was back at her house 15 minutes later until the next morning. One of my friends succeeded with something unconventional like that once. He said, "I'd like to take you out to dinner and disappoint you sexually." And that's what he did. I was at a presentation by a certain committee of my state. After 2 hours or so, we went to break, and I asked this gorgeous, lovely lady for a light when we were out in the smoke pit. She lends me her lighter, and we stand there for about 30 seconds after I say thanks. Cars go by, the sun is blinding, and we are awkwardly looking everywhere but each other. And I say, "This whole presentation made me realize I don't ever want to come here again." And she just smiled and covered her face, like she knew she shouldn't laugh. I told her I was going to go for a walk to the nearby restaurant and asked if she'd like to come. And she did. We had a blast. She came over that night, and we had a great time. I saw her one other time after that, but then we went our separate ways. Still a great experience, though. Big, bright, dorky smile. Seriously, one of the prettiest smiles I've ever seen. Just seeing it lit up the room. As part of a dare, I asked a foreign girl if she had any Scottish in her. When she said no, I replied, "Would you like some?" She totally didn't understand the joke, and I was suitably mortified that I'd even had the courage to say it. Fortunately, we managed to speak in pidgin French, and it worked, even though she had no clue. This was actually from my late first wife. She got seriously tipsy on our first date, and blurted out, "I've never kissed a guy with a beard before. Can you show me how it feels?" We ended up getting married a week or so later. Probably not my best judgment, but I would consider that smooth on her part. Well, as far as judgment calls go, he did say late wife, not ex-wife. So it obviously lasted, and therefore must have been at least a reasonable judgment call. A week does seem kinda crazy though. That's like some finding out your fiancé is cheating on you at your Vegas bachelor party type shit. Alright, now we hop into the rapid fire segment of the video, and we finally have a nice long rapid fire with some decent one-liners in it, so I'm pretty pumped. Let's jump in. We were talking about how he should learn to ask for help at times. He hit me up with, "Okay, help me choose out a venue for our date then." A redheaded buddy of mine went up to a stunning redhead at a bar and asked if she wanted to start a pumpkin patch. If I had a pickup line, I would use it on you right now. A few years ago, a coworker asked, "Hey, you got a sec?" I loudly replied without thinking, "For you, I got a lot of sex." You must be tired. Oh, let me guess, because I've been running through your mind all day? No, because your tits are huge. Are you a beaver? 'Cause damn. Girl slid into my DMs and said that she'd give me a dime for my number. I said, "Okay, but I have to see the dime first." Then she sent me my profile picture. There's a sale at my house. Clothes are 100% off. Your eyes could start a cult. I don't usually chase people, but I'd put my Crocs in sport mode for you. I like to stroll up to the table and say, "Excuse me, this is embarrassing, but my friend over there wants to know if you think I'm cute. Can I have your number? I forgot mine." Better yet, you look like you lost your number. Here's mine. This is one I used in her Reddit DMs, and she followed me on Instagram ever since. Roses are red, the sun gives off heat. If your legs are tired, use my face as a seat. I saw this girl wearing a black shirt with the word rock on it, so I bought her a drink and told her that I'd love to be paper. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like as well as share your story in the comments below, as I'd love to see them. With that said, I'm ReddList. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.